Hey ladies, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, my name is Mitzi and I'm a paper girly. If you're a returner, welcome back. Today in studio, I'm going to talk about 5 easy journaling styles for anyone who is wanting to begin journaling for the first time or those looking for inspiration while returning to journaling after taking a break from it. As a woman of a certain age, this paper girly is 53, I've discovered the amazing positivity that daily journaling has brought to my life since my children are now grown adults and my life has drastically changed. My priorities shifting from being a full-time mom to a woman who, for the first time in over 2 decades, can afford to slow down and take some time every day to focus on my mental health needs and the joy I'm looking for moving forward into this next chapter of my life. Now, if you've been following along with the 30-day journal challenge, this will be a quick review of what I've introduced to you in the last 3 weeks, and then I'll introduce 2 new styles for you to challenge yourself to try out the remaining week. At the end of the 30 days, it's up to you to reflect back on what you've learned through this process and then pick and choose what works for you and what will inspire you to continue on your journal journey. The first style is a simple one-sentence daily prompt. Daily journal prompts can facilitate self-reflection, gratitude, and goal setting to help improve your mental clarity and build habits. Effective prompts include tracking your daily achievements, exploring your emotions, identifying areas of desired personal growth, and listing what you are grateful for. These can be used daily to boost confidence in living your life with purpose and process the daily experiences of your life. It can be as simple as a one-sentence answer, or maybe it will inspire you to fill up an entire page, maybe even more. These prompts are easily acquired. There are millions of websites where you can find lists of prompts covering every theme or intention. You could literally use a prompt every day, as it can motivate you to take a few minutes a day to document a thought, an opinion, or a reflection. I'm a huge fan of a great journal prompt, due to the fact that prompt journaling can be a transformative practice because it eliminates blank page anxiety. That looming question of what am I going to write about that often becomes a deterrent from opening up your notebook and writing. Prompt journaling provides the structure to unlock deeper self-awareness, emotional processing, and mental clarity. By simply answering targeted questions, you reduce stress, challenge negative thought patterns, and can be a great way to build consistency in basic daily journaling. Now, style number 2 is a basic gratitude journal. These days, I am an avid seeker of joy. Maybe it's my age where emotionally I have grown and matured. Maybe it's this less than stellar journey through menopause that I'm going through where my hormones are running wild. All I know is that there is nothing more important to me these days than to consciously look for the little things in life that bring me joy. So this is a pivotal journal for me. I have a specific notebook, a Hobonichi Weeks journal, that I write in every day. It only takes me 2 minutes a day, but the payoff is immeasurable. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a designated notebook. You can do it all in your regular journal. But truth be told, my hope down the line is that I've minimized the number of notebooks that I use into a more regular, functional traveler's company. But that said, let's be real. We all know this is just a hope, not necessarily a set in stone reality. Because, oh my God, I know, I have a little bit of an issue with buying notebooks. The point I'm trying to make is that there is never anything negative about writing about gratitude. Gratitude journaling is a powerful science-backed practice that improves your mental, physical, and social well-being by rewiring the brain to focus on positive rather than negative. It can boost happiness, it can reduce stress and anxiety, and it can foster resilience by encouraging consistent, intentional focus on real-life daily positivity. So, how do you make gratitude journaling personal and effective? Well, 1, be specific. Don't just write, I'm grateful for my family. Write about a specific person that you're grateful for. And if you're feeling inspired, why? 2, we're talking consistency over quantity. Daily consistent entries are better than a long one-time list. I try to do it daily, but if life gets hectic, and we all know that it can, and I get off track, yeah, I go back and I write out a list that I have floating around in my head. I'm not hurting anyone by doing that, but the way that I find I get the most out of having a gratitude journal is doing it daily because it makes me focus on one specific positive thing, especially when life feels out of control. And three, focus on the little things. Appreciate small moments like a good cup of coffee or a kind word, rather than just large achievements. Life isn't just about the big things, it's the small things that make your life uniquely yours. I personally use my diary to write in extreme detail, lots of venting if I'm honest, because I like to look back at my gratitude journal and have it just be a reminder of joyful moments in my life. The third style is the 3-2-1 method style of journaling. And while I know it isn't as popular as the first two, and I imagine one of the reasons is because it does take a little more mental thought. And to be fully transparent, not even a method that I use a lot. However, there is a lot of positive reasons that I think this is a great style of journaling. I think sometimes for overthinkers like myself, we often make it more complicated than it has to be. And if you break it down to the very basics, it can be as simple as what you do in your gratitude journal. Just a couple more lines to add in details to reflect upon. I want to show you a couple of ways that you could take the 3-2-1 method and theme it out to keep it fresh and exciting to add into any personal journaling layout that you decide fits your lifestyle. So here in this notebook, I put out some different themes. The first one is learning. 3 things I learned, 2 interesting facts, 1 question I still have. Or you could do reading if you're doing books, 3 facts or ideas, 2 supporting details or connections, 1 prompt for further research. Or, you could do it on personal growth. 3 things that brought joy, 2 things that made a difference, 1 thing I'll focus on tomorrow. It's all just about doing different themes. Uh, you could do reflection, gratitude, over here, people, joy. 3 people who inspire you, 2 people who made yesterday better, 1 moment that made you smile. You could do it really simple. You could do food, 3 things, favorite ingredients, 2 favorite meals, 1 favorite beverage, or things like YouTube, movies, media, 3 favorite TV shows, 2 favorite movies, 1 favorite YouTube channel. You could break it down to the very, very basic things, and this is just an example of how you could do that. There are so many examples of ways to break this 3-2 method down into the simplest form. Now, when you're stuck on what to write about, come back to these ideas to get out of a rut and get back to writing. Now, the last 2 journal styles I want to introduce are basically polar opposites of each other. One focuses on specific daily function, and the other focuses on purely personal reflection. Style number 4 is a very basic beginner version of the complex bullet journal trend. Girls, if you're interested in bullet journaling, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of channels out there that go over bullet journaling. Some of them show you beautiful and creative artistic spreads with very little writing, and some only use writing, just pen and ink, sometimes even just a pencil. I've come up with my own version that works for me, styled the way that I like it, and easy for my brain to take in. I like easy. I like functional for me. Bullet journaling is a highly effective, customizable analog system that can boost your productivity, provide mental clarity, and grant personal mindfulness by combining scheduling, to-do lists, and journaling into one notebook. It can reduce your mental load by organizing tasks, tracking habits, and provide a therapeutic, creative, and intentional outlet for your daily life. Now, if you know anything about me, you know how much I love a project. I love crossing off all the steps of a project, whether that is cleaning out my pantry cupboards or reorganizing my new pink craft storage toolbox. There is nothing that I love more than to finish off a project, look back at a piece of paper that outlines what I accomplished. There is nothing like seeing a checked off list of all the steps I took to finish off that project. So how do I incorporate a daily bullet journal into my daily journal? Well, as simple as possible. The most important piece of a bullet journal is your key, and mine contains only 4 symbols. A dot or a circle for a task or an action, a single line for any random thought I want to note down, an equal sign to document my mood or emotion, how I'm feeling about it, and then a heart to record a highlight that I want to remember. Now, there is an official key system that hardcore bullet journalists use, but these are the ones that I discovered work for me. And as usual, you get to decide what works for you. The most important thing is that you customize your bullet journal layout to what works best for your life and really what works for your brain. Let's face it, as a woman of a certain age, my brain is exhausted. So I threw out any expectation that I had on myself to follow the rules, and I'm doing it the Mitzi way, which is, however, I find it to be the simplest for me to digest and what keeps me motivated and inspired. So, ladies, you do you. Here's an example of how I do this method. When I'm feeling overwhelmed on a Sunday evening, when I know I have a week full that's appearing to be chaotic, when I'm thinking about all the things that I need to get done, I start with a weekly intention. You don't have to do this, it's just what I do in order to calm my overthinker brain and reset my intention to be able to move forward with some kind of kindness and grace towards myself before I even get started. Because, ladies, I sit here and preach it all the time. Life is not about perfection. It is about setting yourself up for the best intention, looking for joy, giving yourself grace to be human, and then grinding it out to get to where you're wanting to go. And honestly, this is a new concept for me. Like I previously mentioned, I was a full-time mama for over 2 decades. I was just trying to make it from one day to the next for years. I gave myself no grace in my goal of being everything I thought I needed to be, rather than accepting or appreciating all that I was. All I was doing was grinding away, putting myself last in every situation. Now, that's why nowadays I'm putting myself first, and everyone in my life is having to catch up and adjust a little bit to Mitzi 2.0. Luckily, my husband, Mr. Paper, has not only fully supported me during this transitional period of my life, but passionately celebrates anything that I do that brings me joy. Okay, side note over, back to my bullet journal. After I write down my weekly intention, I like to write down an inspirational quote or some type of affirmation to keep me motivated for the week. Because, ladies, like I like to tell Mr. Paper, intention is great, but you don't get points for intention. You only get gold stars for what you accomplish. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a great intention. I'm all about progressing through life with the greatest of intentions. It shows that you're thinking about the grander picture for you and for those around you. But sometimes you come in contact with people that think that intention is all you need. And I just don't believe that to be true. It's about reflecting on the intention and then putting that into action. So yes, intention for mental clarity, inspiration or affirmation for motivation, and then the key. And then I just start rapid logging my day. I use the key to mark out the categories. Later in the day, I'll add thoughts or actions I took and maybe how I feel about it. And then at the end of the day, sometimes it happens the next morning if time gets away from me, I'll mark what I got accomplished from my initial task list, crossing off, marking with an arrow, things I'll write back down the next day. I've taken inspiration from the Ryder Carroll book, The Bullet Journal Method, and then I personalized it to how it works best for me. That's how journaling works. Make it work for you. Now, the last and final style I'm focusing on today and introducing in this video is probably the hardest for me because it really plays into my overthinker personality. But that said, it's also my favorite, and that's the good old brain dump. A brain dump is the practice of unloading all of your thoughts, any tasks, any worries, basically all of your ideas from your mind onto paper to reduce mental clutter at the end of the day. A good brain dump helps clear up mental space, reduces emotional overwhelm, and improves focus by externalizing information. It serves as a tool to organize chaotic thoughts and helps to reboot your mind and emotions so you're able to prioritize what's actually important that enables you to relaunch as your best self into the future the next day. For beginners, I suggest picking out one thing that occurred during the day, setting a timer for 10 minutes, and then just start writing. Let your mind wander. Follow it. You never know where it will take you or what you'll discover along the way. It does not have to make sense. It does not have to wrap up like a story. This isn't the next great American novel. This is a brain dump. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about penmanship. Don't worry about sentence structure. This is just you putting your thoughts on paper, letting go of anxiety, recording joy, let go of any intention you have to make it perfect. Because like I said in my previous video that kind of kicked off my whole paper girly world on here on YouTube, it does not have to be perfect to be beautiful. It does not have to be perfect to be valuable. Your intention here is to let go of anything and everything that is robbing you from moving forward into joy. This community that we've built here together brings me so much joy, ladies. I can hardly put it into words, but you know me. Tonight I'll do my best to do just that, writing in my journal, using one of these styles, maybe even all of them. I just never know what I'll write down or how I'll write it down until I'm sitting in my corner, picking up a notebook, picking out what fountain pen I'm going to use, and of course, popping a couple Sour Patch Kids into my mouth as I kick back and reflect on my day. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to invite you to like and subscribe and continue on this journey I'm on. Loving all things paper and stationery, obsessing over pins and stickers, journals and paper crafting. If you're a woman who enjoys these types of things, especially if you're a woman of a certain age, like me, who wants to build community with women journeying into this next phase of life, know that I'm right here with you, right next to you on the struggle bus of menopausal madness. I'll be here to celebrate the joy that I'm seeking out in life and sharing the struggles that sometimes they feel so lonely. I'll be acknowledging that you aren't alone. Girl, I'm going through it too. If you want the added bonus where you can share your creativity and find a more personal community of amazing paper girlies, I'd love for you to check out the Paper Girly Studio Facebook page. There are almost 200 ladies over there sharing, supporting, and celebrating being a woman of a certain age and growing into the women we all dreamed we would become. If you're here watching this and you're a little younger, you're an honorary little sister, and I welcome you as well. My channel is all about building a community of women, a village of women who share the same passions, the same vision of seeking out the joy we all want and deserve, no matter what stage of life we're in. I hope I've been able to introduce some beginner styles of journaling this month that might help you along the way to find clarity, emotional well-being, and a joy-filled purpose in your life. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, from one paper girly to another,